स्पोर्ट्स से जुड़ी किसी भी छोटी या बड़ी अपडेट के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें स्पोर्ट्स तक और साथ ही किसी भी नोटिफिकेशन को पाने के लिए बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें।
I think we'll obviously have a chat about him before the game starts, but I think we'll come up with a couple of options, and it's just about what the conditions suit. A player of that calibre, you need a couple of options, and as I said, it depends on what conditions we get on what wickets as to what plan we'll go to. Yeah, I think some players thrive on that, and some don't. So it's going to be up to the individual of how they want to handle that. I think Virat obviously thrives on that sort of stuff. It gets him going, and he probably plays his best cricket when he's doing that. So again, it's up to the individual from if it's a bowler or a fielder. But I'm usually pretty quiet when I'm bowling, so I'll just go about my business as I usually do. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think I've played a red ball game here in quite a while, so I think the wicket it'll play pretty similar. Hopefully the red ball stays harder for a touch longer, and we can get that nice carry and bounce. But as you said, the day-night can swing around pretty quickly if you do have a new ball at night. So I guess this one's going to be a bit more even over the course of the day, and yeah, we'll see how it goes actually.
Do you have a preference?
I'm actually looking forward to getting a red ball on this wicket. As you know, there's always a nice coverage of grass. I think it's how thick the actual turf is and the grass itself. So I'm looking forward to bowling with a red ball. Yeah. I think it's pretty even, to be honest. They're obviously number one Test team in the world, but we play some good cricket at home. So I think it's very even heading into this. And as you said, with our bowling attack, we're very confident. And based on last year. We had quite a good template there, and it worked pretty well. So we'll be looking to replicate that and test it against one of the best batting teams in the world. Yeah, I think it's we've pretty much peaked at exactly the right time. I think we've played a number of games of cricket. Mitch Stark's probably played the most in the last 2 months, but Paddy and I have had a really good preparation. I guess all-round preparation, you could say, through strength and fitness, and then obviously cricket side of thing as well. So we feel, 100% going into this game, and feel like the preparation's been key. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. He's one of those guys who can score pretty freely. A number of the guys can in this Indian lineup. So, but sometimes those risks bring the most rewards as well, as you mentioned. So it's just about weighing that up, and I guess how long we're going to stay at each plan for. We might stay for 20 balls or 80 balls. It's just depending on how we feel, and it's about adapting once we get on the field. Yeah, it's usually through video, and these days a lot of guys have played with Indian guys in IPL and at different stages. So, but most of it's through video. You pretty much can't face or bowl a ball without being videoed. So these days it's quite, I guess, easy to see a lot of footage of guys playing Test cricket around the world and even first class cricket. Yeah, he's the key for me. I think with the four of us and probably someone like Mitch who does bowl a bit shorter spells, and even Paddy from time to time. To have Nath, it even worked really well last week or 2 weeks ago when we played the Shield game. Nath pretty much bowled from one end after the new ball, and we just sort of filtered through from the other end, and he hardly hit a run off him, and he takes wickets. It's pretty key to have down the other end, and I think he really, I guess, makes that group what it is, I think. Yeah, it obviously puts the pressure on, especially if we don't have that all-rounder, we're most likely going to have. But, yeah, it brings you back quicker, and, you probably deteriorate towards the end of the day from those spells throughout the day. You're coming back earlier and earlier each time, and the pace may drop off, or the fatigue starts to set in, and then they can get on top of you. So, but, yeah, that, as you said, that rarely happens with guys. I've looked at the weather. Day one looks pretty warm again, but it's different heat here than Brisbane. I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a blur, I guess you could say, as they do with debuts, but had some good success against India in my 3 Test matches, and I think just being here for the first Test as well, being 12th man and seeing how, I guess, closely fought that first game was, and how exciting it was, and Nathan did what he did, taking those 12 wickets. It's a great rivalry, and hopefully continues this week. Yeah, I think so. As I said, we played. I think Paddy and I played all 5 last year, and Starkey played 4. So as you said, 4 in a month is tough going. It all depends how much you bowl in the games, to be honest. Maybe Adelaide and Perth are going to have the most in the wickets out of the four tracks. So if we can get a light innings here or there, it obviously pays dividends later in the summer. So, but yeah, we're confident. It hasn't spoken to me as such yet, so I guess that's in the future down the track, and we'll cross that bridge when it comes. I think it's pretty common sense. I think the rules are pretty clear now. It's good to have it in black and white, and this ground and Perth are not ideal for reverse swing as it is, so it's more normal seam and swing. So I don't think it's going to play a massive part in these first 2 games anyway. Yeah, I think so. To be honest, the people who shine the ball are the ones who don't sweat. It's as simple as that. And obviously all the bowlers sweat a lot when they bowl, and you don't want the ball getting wet is the main thing. You want to keep it dry and shine it. So it's 2 guys who usually don't sweat. Yeah, I think so. I see the Indian batting lineup as probably the best in the world, if not they're right up there. So led by Virat, and I think they feed a lot off what Virat does and how he goes about things. So if we can make some early inroads in this first test is always crucial, and the first innings as well. So if we get on top of them early, hopefully that filters through the rest of the test. I don't feel extra pressure. All I feel is a lot of excitement actually around the group. Potentially a couple of debutants, or potentially 1 debutant. So it's always good to have that around the group. But I think it's just the excitement of Australian summer coming around again, and there's nothing better than playing Test cricket in Australia. So excitement's the main thing, and we've obviously got a couple of days training here to fine tune a few things. A lot of guys have been playing a fair bit of cricket, so but excitement's the main thing. Yeah. No, it's definitely 1/4, I'd say. We don't forget about Lino. But I think that was the key last year, the partnerships. We always talk about batting in partnerships, but the way we bowled, it wasn't about any individual. We all took 20 wickets plus for the whole summer, and partnerships is a big one for us, and it's always bowling for the guy who's following you. So we're big on that, and we're all leaders in our own right. So yeah, absolutely. Next 2 days. So the nets are always pretty fiery, and everyone feels a touch quicker in the nets as well. So I'm always make sure I bowl when Pat and Mitch are bowling, so I don't have to face them. So yeah, I've a lot of confidence. A lot of the guys coming in the team are all in form and all scored runs this summer. Sean Marsh keeps peeling them off in every format and every game he plays, and I got Khawaja there as well. I got tremendous faith in the top order. At least. Probably me. Probably one of the slippers who just stands there and catches them. So maybe Finch or Khawaja or someone. Could do, yeah. It won't be me. I'll sweat too much.